Now consider the second numerical problem. An axial flow compressor draws in air at 20 degrees Celsius and delivers it at 97 degrees Celsius. The blade velocity and flow velocity are constant throughout the compressor. The blade velocity is 300 meter per second and the air enters the blade at 12 degrees. Calculate the flow velocity, work done per kg of air and the degree of reaction. Take inlet stagnation temperature of 305, that is 305 Kelvin in fact, and there is a hint given. Assume that number of stages is equal to 1 and blading is not symmetrical. This is a rare condition that number of stages is equal to 1. Usually axial flow compressors are multi-stage compressors. Here consider the data. The air inlet temperature is 20 degrees Celsius, that is Ti, which is equal to T1, that is 20 plus 273, that is equal to 293 Kelvin. And the outlet temperature is 97 degrees Celsius, that is T final, which is denoted by T2, that is equal to 97 plus 273, that is equal to 370 Kelvin. And the blade velocity is 300 meter per second, that is U1. In fact, you know that U1 is equal to U2 is equal to U, that is equal to 300 meter per second. And velocity of flow is constant throughout, that is Vf1 is equal to Vf2 is equal to Vf, and we have to find that. Then the stagnation temperature at inlet, that is 305 Kelvin. In fact, T01, it can be denoted by T01, that is equal to 305 Kelvin. So Kelvin we do not usually put degree, but so please write T01 is equal to 305 Kelvin. And from the concept of stagnation properties, we know that T01 is equal to T1 plus V1 square by 2 Cp. See, this is the relation between the stagnation temperature and static temperature. So T01 is equal to T1 plus V1 square by 2 Cp. The suffix 1 stands for the inlet condition. So the stagnation temperature and static temperature at inlet are available now. Stagnation temperature is 305 and the static temperature is T1. So that is air inlet temperature. So 305 is equal to 293 plus V1 square by 2 Cp, and specific heat of air at constant pressure is 1005 joule per kilogram Kelvin. So if you substitute all these values, 305 is equal to 293 plus V1 square by 2 into 1005 and if you find the value of V1 taking the remaining terms to the other side, and then if you get the value of V1 square first and then V1, you will get 155.306 meter per second. Please verify these calculations. So V1 is equal to 155.306 meter per second. Which is that velocity component? It is the absolute velocity of air at inlet, and its axial component is Vf1. See the axial flow velocity component of V1. So here if you consider the inlet velocity triangle, and you can connect the V1 and Vf1. See the angle here given, the air enters the blade at 12 degrees. So which angle is that? This is the inclination of the absolute velocity of air with the reference direction, which is the axial direction. So the air enters the blade at 12 degrees. So that means that is the guide blade angle at inlet, and the reference direction is axial direction. So inclination of V1 with the axial direction, that is given 12 degrees. So alpha is 12. So if from this triangle, if you try to connect V1 and Vf1, so we can do that. V1 cos alpha is equal to Vf1. So if you take cos alpha, that is equal to adjacent side by hypotenuse, that is Vf1 by V1. Therefore Vf1 is equal to V1 cos alpha. So you will get Vf1 is equal to 155.306 into cos 12. So you know that Vf1 is equal to Vf. So if you do this calculation, you will get the flow velocity component. So the axial flow velocity component, that is constant throughout from inlet to the outlet of the compressor, that is Vf, that is equal to 151.912 meter per second. So that is a part of the answer. Now we will proceed. This in the same manner from the same triangle, this right triangle from this right side portion of the inlet velocity triangle, if you consider, you will get VW1 also. See, you can find VW1 is equal to V1 sin alpha. So therefore, you can get VW1 as V1 sin alpha. So that is 155.306 into sine 12 degrees. So you will get VW1 is equal to 32.29 meter per second. So world component of velocity at inlet is equal to 32.29 meter per second. It is a component of the absolute velocity of air at inlet in the direction of u. So this is VW1. Now we will proceed further. See, since the initial and final temperatures are given, air inlet temperature and air outlet temperature, we can think of finding the actual work done. Of course, it is specific work done because you are finding it per unit mass of air. The unit is joule per kilogram. So specific work done or total work done, in fact it is comprising of all stages together, but here we have one stage. So specific work done, Cp into T final minus T initial, that is Cp into T2 minus T1, that is 1005 into the outlet temperature 370 minus inlet temperature 293. So if you calculate, you will get 77,385 joule per kilogram. So work done per kg of air is equal to 77,385 joule per kilogram, or in kilojoule per kilogram it will be 77.385 kilojoule per kilogram. So this is the second part of the answer. But remember, even if there are many stages, the total work done will be found out by this expression, Cp into Tf minus Ti per unit mass of air of all stages together. But it's a specific case in this. Here we have the number of stages, we have to assume that it is 1. So in order to take the problem forward, that is essential now, because W total, as you know, it is number of stages into work done in a stage. See, work done in a stage, as we discussed before, that is Euler work done, VW2 minus VW1 into U multiplied by work factor. See, if you take VW2 minus VW1 into U, that is a theoretical or ideal work done per unit mass of air in one stage. If you multiply that by psi, the quantity, this factor, work factor, then you will get the actual work done per stage per unit mass of air, multiplied by number of stages is equal to this Cp into T final minus T initial, which we just now calculated as 77,385 joule per kg. Here you assume that number of stages is equal to 1, and psi, it's not given, so assume that it is 1. If it is not given, you assume that the work factor is 1, into VW2 minus VW1, we found out 32.29. So into U, see, U is also given, the tangential velocity of the rotor blade or at inlet, outlet and all, they are equal, that is U, or it's also called peripheral velocity at inlet and outlet. So that is equal, U1 is equal to U2 is equal to U, you know that. So you substitute U is equal to 300 here. So apart from VW2, the rest of these quantities are known. So here you can get VW2. So substitute all these values, then substitute VW2. Please verify this numerical calculation. So VW2, you will get 289.95 meter per second. So world component of velocity at outlet is also called a tangential component of flow velocity, tangential component of absolute velocity of air. So the component of component of V2 in the direction of U2, so that is VW2. So that is equal to 289.95 meter per second. So now we will consider the velocity triangle, and you can find out the remaining angles in the inlet velocity triangle. That is inlet guide blade angle at inlet alpha is available, but vane angle or blade angle at inlet theta is not available. So if you want, you can find it out. So if you take from this right triangle, in the left side portion of the inlet velocity triangle. So you can get the value tan theta. So tan theta is equal to opposite side by adjacent side. Opposite side is this much part, this base. This base is u1 minus vw1 divided by adjacent side is vf1. So u1 minus vw1 divided by vf1, that is equal to tan theta, where theta is the vane angle at inlet. So u1 is 300, then vw1 is 32.29 divided by vf1. Vf1 is 151.912. So if you substitute that, you will get tan theta is equal to 1.762, and can get theta is equal to 60.43. So once you have this vane angle, so we can proceed further and concentrate on the outlet velocity triangle this time. See, vw1, all these values so far we found out have been listed here for a reference. vw1 we found out 32.29, vw2 is 289.95, vf is 151.912 meter per second, vane angle at inlet theta is 60.43. See, now consider the outlet velocity triangle. So you take, if you take tan beta from this right side portion, that right triangle on the right side portion of the outlet velocity triangle, so tan beta is equal to opposite side vw2 by adjacent side. So vw2 by vf2 is tan beta, and from that you can find out beta. So beta, if you find out, that is 62.35 degrees. And now you again come back to the inlet velocity triangle. Now the relative velocity is missing, because we require relative velocity Vr1 at inlet and Vr2 at outlet in order to get the degree of reaction. So therefore you consider the inlet velocity triangle and then consider the left side portion and this right triangle, and apply Pythagoras theorem. Vr1 square is equal to this base. What is this base? u1 minus vw1 whole square plus what is this altitude? Vf1 square. So Vr1 square is u1 minus vw1 whole square plus vf1 square, and all these values are known. So just substitute 300 minus 32.29 whole square plus 151.912 square. So you will get 94,745.9, that is Vr1 square. So take the square root, you get Vr1, relative velocity at inlet, that is 307.808 meter per second. That's important. Now you consider the outlet velocity triangle and consider the left side portion, this left side part, right triangle, and apply Pythagoras theorem again. Vr2 square is equal to base square plus altitude square, that is Vr2 square is equal to base square is base is u2 minus vw2, then altitude is vf2. So therefore Vr2 square is u2 minus vw2 whole square plus vf2 square. You know that u2 is equal to u itself, vf2 is equal to vf, and substitute 300 minus 289.95 whole square plus 151.912 whole square. So you will get 23,178.258, that is Vr2 square. So take the square root, you will get Vr2, relative velocity at outlet. So that is 152.244 meter per second. You know that obviously Vr2 should be less than Vr1. And now the degree of reaction. So the increase in static pressure in the rotor stage divided by the total pressure head in a compressor stage. The total pressure head in the compressor stage, as you know, it is Euler's head. What is Euler's head? Euler's work done per unit mass, you know, that is Vw2 minus Vw1 into U, that is joule per kg. And if you find that quantity in joule per weight of flowing air, that is energy per unit weight of flowing air, then that will become head, that is joule per Newton is equal to meter. So Vw2 minus Vw1 into U divided by G, if you take that quantity is Euler's head. What is its unit? That is meters of flowing fluid, that is air in this case. And what is in the numerator? Vr1 square minus Vr2 square by 2G, that is the rise in static pressure in the rotor stage. So this expression we have discussed already. So this is R is equal to Vr1 square minus Vr2 square divided by 2 into Vw2 minus Vw1 into U. So why do we substitute this this relation here? Because in the earlier cases we used a very simple expression for finding the degree of reaction. Remember, this is the original expression which we simplified for symmetrical blading later. So in that case, you will get degree of reaction as Vf by 2u into tan theta plus tan phi. So that is a simple relation for degree of reaction you can use when symmetrical blading is considered. So in this case, we don't consider like that. We are not considering here that beta is equal to theta and alpha is equal to phi. That's why we use the generalized expression. From the definition itself, we found out the relation now. So R is equal to this, and you simply substitute VR1, VR2, VW2 and VW1 and U in this expression. So once you substitute this, please verify the numerical calculation. You will get degree of reaction as 0.4625. In percentage, that is 46.29%. See, please remember, in this case, we haven't used the symmetrical blading. Have a happy learning experience. Thank you so much.